Hey guys, and welcome back to the Johnster Space channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at these the Super Mario Galaxy movie Yoshi shape sugar cookie doughs. You know, the Pillsbury ones. And I'm going to be showing you a look at the box and making them in this video. As a look at this movie tie-in product. Yeah, I know the movie came out like a few weeks ago. But since I still have a few boxes of these in like my refrigerator, I thought it'd be cool to do a video like showing, one of these. So yeah, here's a look at the front of the box. This is a Pillsbury product that was like released to coincide with the movie. Here's an up-close view. So this is the front. As you can see, it shows Yoshi on the front of the box for the cookies. And then you have Flying Mario like right above him. And then the movie's logo next to where Mario is. And actually the cool thing about this Flying Mario pose on the cookie box is that it's the same one that Mario does from like the Super Mario Galaxy game. So like they recreated that in like the movie's renders and stuff. Like used on procs like this box. That's like a cool nod to the game it's based on. And then, next to Yoshi and the Flying Mario, we have an image of the cookie, which is shaped, looks like a Yoshi egg. With white on it, and then the green spots. You can see here. And it tells you this is enlarged to show detail on like the box. So it's not actually that big when you make the cookie. It's just bigger to show it on the box, like what you're gonna get. And then it under that tells you the amount of cookies this makes. 20 pre-cut cookies. And it's safe to eat raw. And encourages you to keep dough refrigerated. And this is sugar cookie dough. And it also tells you the nutritional facts on the front of the box per 2 cookies. So every 2 cookies has 100 calories, 1.5 G, I think that's grams of saturated fat, 90 milligrams of sodium, and 8 grams of added sugars. So, it tells you nutrition. And also the front of the box has this space theme where you can see the Comet Observatory here from the movie. So, this is pretty cool. And if you look at the side of the box, it says Yoshi shape sugar cookie dough. And then a little icon of the cookies next to that. And it's a similar thing on this side of the box, but with like a box tops like thing on here, the scan. And here's the other side. So yeah, before I go to the back of the box, I'm just going to show you these other things I put on the table that I thought would be fitting given the Yoshi cookie theme. So I have this blue Yoshi figure. I think he's called Light Blue Yoshi. It's a figure of light blue Yoshi. I got this at Walmart, I think a few months ago. Which I put, I'm putting this right next to the cookie box. Kind of like table decor, decorations. And then, the other Yoshi item I have here is Yoshi in the pipe frame cart. As you can see here. Yoshi in the pipe frame. Just like a Hot Wheels, item. And it's interesting how I got this Yoshi in pipe frame cart. So, to get these cookies, because they were being sold out everywhere due to the popularity, I had to resort to buying boxes of these Yoshi cookies on eBay, you know. I found a guy who would, you know, keep listing them every week or so, though the price kept going up every time I bought it. But, you know, it was fine. I probably bought like 5 or more boxes of these in total because I really like them. And in... Oh wait, actually, no, the Yoshi pipe frame was not from a cookie purchase. That was from like a Mario Galaxy movie item purchase I did on eBay. You know, it was the Yoshi popcorn bucket. And in that box, like, he included this as like a gift in a golden egg. Because it was like Easter around then. That's pretty cool. Like I said, I had to buy these boxes of Yoshi cookies on eBay. So they're being sold out everywhere, you know. I'm not sure if you can buy them anymore. They might be gone. But I still have a few boxes in my refrigerator. Now after that, you know, little bit of a rant about the items, let's get back to the, you know, the cookie box. So here's the back of the cookie box, which once again has your nutritional facts here, though more detailed compared to like the one on the front of the box. So on the back of the box it says, "Let's go. Help Mario and Yoshi trace the shortest path to visit every planet and soar across the galaxy." And, you know, it has this, like, map on the back where you, like, trace to, like, get from the Comet Observatory at the start to this end point. You know, something for kids to do as a fun activity. Then you have, like, this Bowser Jr. icon as, like, a dead end. And something interesting about this box, you know, this box has renders of, like, planets from the movie. Got, like, that water, the water planet. I think this is the Gateway Galaxy planet here that they, like, go to in the movie. It's, like, an important place. Then you have some other planets, and then the Comet Observatory. And above that is, like, Yoshi with Mario riding him. And this recreates the pose from, like, Super Mario Galaxy 2's Wii box art where he's, like, flying with Yoshi. I actually have, like, that game, so I can show you. So as you can see here in the Wii game, you know, it shows Mario flying with Yoshi like this on Super Mario Galaxy 2, the game. And if we compare it to this, looks pretty similar, you know, just like flipped. But you know, he's doing that same pose and everything. So it's a pretty faithful recreation as part of the movie's renders on merchandise and stuff. Which is what I really liked about this. All the callbacks and things. Yeah, you can see how that's similar. And to finish, like, what it says on the back of the box, there's a website that tells you to visit here. Family, fun, recipes, and more at itsgalaxytime.com. I'm not sure if you can still visit this website or not. But yeah, then under here is the baking instructions on the box and the barcode. Place, make, yum. And it warns you to do not microwave cookie dough. So the first step is heat oven to 350 degrees or 325 degrees for non-stick cookie sheet. Place cookie dough rounds on ungreased cookie sheet. Bake 12 to 14 minutes. Cookie surface and edges will be pale in color. Do not overbake. Cool 1 minute before removing from cookie sheet, cookies will spread only slightly. And then you have like the safe to eat raw stuff over here of like why it's safe. And then, you know, the copyright for Nintendo and Universal Studios, because it is a movie tie-in product. So yeah, that's a look at the cookie box. Now let's actually, you know, take the cookie dough out, put it on a sheet, and cook it. You know, bake the cookies. Now I've given you a thorough overview of this cool item. So I'm going to move these Yoshi toys to the side. Like this, I guess. Yeah, let's open the cookie dough box. Oh wait, one more thing before I gotta tell you is this side. This side of the box. It says best if used by May 6. No, it's May 6, 2026. So these are still good for like, I guess another week or two. By the best if used by date. It's like April when I'm recording this. Yeah, here's a look at when you take them out of the package. This is what it looks like. Just ignore that some of the cookies in this box are missing. I've already baked like half of them, you know, personally on my, you know, outside of this video. But, you know, you have like 10 cookies here that are still here. The cookie doughs, which look like Yoshi eggs. And they're laid out in a row of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 rows of 5, which is how you get 20 cookies. So just imagine 3 more rows of 4 here. And that's what all 20 cookies would look like in here. But there's still 8 because, you know, that's what we're going to do in this video. The remaining 8 cookies in this box. So they're in this like plastic wrap in a tray that you take out. And here's them what they look like outside the tray. So you know they smell pretty good because they're sugar cookies. And yeah. Now to put them, now I'll show you how you like put these on a baking tray and stuff. So I have like this baking tray here, you know. This baking tray I'm going to use, and parchment paper. So I'm just going to take this parchment paper out, cut it, and you know, you put your parchment paper on your baking tray like this. It's okay if it sticks up at the edges like this. Like once we put the cookies on, the weight like pushes it down. You put it up like this, you know. Then we take our cookies here. I take one out hand by hand from the tray. Just place them on the cookie sheet, you know, like this. So, you know, so you can see how I'm doing this. I'm just going to show it like this. Here's an individual one up close. In high detail. This is what the back of it looks like. Yeah. I'm just going to place these on the cookie tray, you know, like this. You know, space them out because they do expand a little bit. You do not want them touching. Though it would probably be fine. Yeah, you know, I just take these from the cookie tray. Just place them on my sheet like this, you know. This is 8 cookies we're doing, so yeah. That looks like a good layout. I have 4 on one side of the tray and 4 on the other side. Kind of like grouped around it. And the weight of the cookie dough keeps the parchment paper down. So yeah, you know, this is what the empty tray is. And like I said, if you did not want to bake these, you could just eat them like this, because safe to eat raw. But they honestly taste better if you cook them, in my opinion. I mean bake them, so yeah. Now that our tray of cookies is ready, I'm gonna go to the oven and like do a time lapse of these cooking. They're done. Alright guys, so now that the cookies are baked, here's what the, baked cookies look like on a plate. All 8 of them that we did, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And because these are small sugar cookies, it means you can eat them pretty quickly after baking them. So yeah, time to try out some of these cookies and see how they taste. So I'm going to eat some of these cookies and see what they're like. Here's an individual one up close first though. You see how they expanded compared to the cookie dough from the package? They expand a bit, which you saw in the time lapse as well. Yeah, let's eat. Alright, so after eating some of the cookies with some water, I'd say they were, really good, honestly. Well, I really like eating these cookies because it's a cool movie tie-in product, So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video where, we took a look at the Yoshi egg cookies. And yeah, as a little tease of the next video coming on this channel, I'm going to show you something quick. So why have I brought a Wii on screen, as you can see? Well, it's because the next video on this channel, we're going to be taking a look at my console collection. And I plan on doing a separate video from the console one as well, for like the controllers of each console that I own. So yeah, that's 2 videos to look forward to. My console and controller collection videos, which should be the next videos released after this Yoshi egg cookie one. So yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one. Bye.